The story of Atlantis first appeared over 2,300 years ago in the works of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. In two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Plato presents a conversation between Socrates and his companions, in which a mysterious tale is revealed. According to Critias, Atlantis was a powerful and technologically advanced empire located beyond the Pillars of Heracles, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. It was said to be larger than Libya and Asia combined, a land of wealth, wisdom, and incredible engineering. There was an island situated in front of the straits, which you call the Pillars of Heracles. The island was larger than Libya and Asia put together. But afterwards there occurred violent earthquakes and floods, and in a single day and night of misfortune, the island of Atlantis disappeared in the depths of the sea. Plato goes on to describe how the Atlanteans, once noble and virtuous, became greedy and corrupt. Their downfall was not just natural, it was divine punishment. Zeus, king of the gods, decided to destroy Atlantis for its arrogance and moral decay. When the divine portion began to fade away, they became filled with unrighteous ambition and power. Zeus, the god of gods, seeing this, resolved to punish them. According to Plato, the story of Atlantis came from Egyptian priests who told it to Solon, the famous Athenian lawmaker, during his visit to Egypt around 600 BC. Solon brought the tale back to Greece, where he passed it down through his family. Plato claims to have received the story through his ancestor Critias, who heard it from his grandfather, who had heard it from Solon. Plato's story contains many mythical elements and may sound like it was fabricated, but there are indeed some facts within it. For example, Atlantis did exist and was situated in the northern hemisphere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It was attached to Europe and linked to America by an isthmus and to Africa by another isthmus at about the latitude of the Canary Islands. Its area was slightly greater than that of Australia. It was inhabited by the people of Mu, approximately 30,000 years ago. If you want to learn more about continent of Mu, you can watch this video. In fact, it was a colony of Mu. There was also a white race there, tall blonde people with blue eyes. It was the Mayas, very learned colonizers from Mu, who governed the country, and they constructed there a replica of the Pyramid of Savanassa. 17,000 years ago, they explored the Mediterranean thoroughly, going via the north of Africa, where they acquainted the Arabs with much new knowledge, material as well as spiritual. The numerical script, for example, still used by the Arabs, came from Atlantis, and from Mu, of course. They went to Greece, where they founded a small colony, and the Greek alphabet corresponds almost exactly to that of Mu and Atlantis. Finally, they arrived in a land that the natives called Aranka, and which you know as Egypt. There, they established a strong colony with a great man, by the name of Thoth, at its head. Laws were established, which embodied the beliefs of Mu and the organizational principles of Atlantis. Improved plants, new techniques for raising cattle, new methods of cultivation, pottery and weaving were all introduced. Thoth was a great man of Atlantis, extremely knowledgeable materially as well as spiritually. He founded villages, built temples, and, just before his death, he had constructed what you now call the Great Pyramid. Each time these great colonizers judged that the new colony had the potential to become great, materially and spiritually, they would construct a special pyramid, a tool. In Egypt, they constructed the Great Pyramid on the same model as the Pyramid of Savanassa, but on a scale 3 times reduced. These pyramids are unique and, in order to fulfill their role as a tool, their dimensions and specifications must be precisely adhered to, as well as their orientation. Although Atlantis is not punished by God according to Plato, but it did disappear due to natural disaster. Now, Atlantis is sunk to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, but there are still many proof of Atlantis's existence. For example, Greek alphabet is actually Atlantis's alphabet. It is the writing system they use, and the Arabic numerals is also a system come from Atlantis. And the Great Pyramid of Egypt is also built by the Atlantis people. You can also know how they are materially advanced and spiritually advanced.